Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 6 of the 2019 NOSSCAR Motormaster Series season on the NASCAR Heat 3 video game on the PlayStation 4 console. I'm your host, Tyler McMurder, NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series driver. We're about to go live for the O'Hara 300 at Texas Motor Speedway. Earlier tonight, we saw Nick Francesco win the race at Auto Club Speedway. That video is available on the NOSSCAR YouTube channel. You'll have to check that out after this. He's looking to make it 2 for 2 and 3 on the season. If he can pull off a win here at Texas right now, there are 25 drivers circling the racetrack right now, laying down laps, trying to win the pole. We're going to let you know who's on the pole. We're going to see who gets a good qualifying position. Qualifying results are key to success, and we've seen that a lot, because if you're near the tail of the field when the first incident happens, you may have to check up, or you may even be involved. Extra pit stop to repair damage or sorts like that. So it's key to get a good starting position in these races. And that's what these drivers are doing right now. I mentioned earlier tonight Nick Francesco winning at Auto Club Speedway in the number 98 Ford Mustang. Second win of the season. Stephen Corley in the number 39 finishing in second. Jason Armstrong in the number 78 finishing in third. Dakota Bro in the 00 finishing fourth. And Noah Underwood in the 88 rounding out the top 5. Couple of other drivers in there. Shadow finishing in 6th. He was the stage 1 and 2 winner, picking up 2 playoff points from the race earlier at Auto Club. And Robert Lohman Sr. picking up his very first top 10 finish in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series in his career. Coming off solid runs at Auto Club, and they're all looking to capitalize and ride the momentum wave here towards Texas. We've just received the invitation to bring you live coverage of the O'Hara 300 at Texas Motor Speedway. "25 drivers, and it is Brad Dove on the pole. First career NOSSCAR Motormaster Series pole for Brad Dove, and a solid lap time there. Presets and pit road adjustments only in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series. Here we go, 100 laps from Texas Motor Speedway, divided into 3 stages. Top 5 in the stages receive points. The stage winners also receiving 1 playoff point. Time to see who can pull it off and win. NOSSCAR hosts 15 online racing leagues across 6 different video games and 3 consoles. For more information, head over to NOSSCAR.com. Each series has its own page on the website, and we also have a history page that shows you the all-time race results, point standings, and stats. Green flag is in the air at Texas. We're underway. And around goes Keith in the 16. He got collected a little bit there. Stephen Corley is your race leader. Brad Dove in the 23 in second, with Trey Hollywood in the 89 in third. Nick Francesco in the 98 in fourth. There's a look at Keith. It's the aftermath of the incident. He's got some front end damage. Feel very spread at this time. There's RJ Haywood in the number 7. Looked like he missed all of that. Started near the tail of the field, making his NOSSCAR Motormaster Series debut. It's a NOSSCAR veteran on the NASCAR 15 Victory Edition game, and he also made some starts in the 2018 NOSSCAR World Championship on F1 2014. Jerry Ashley in the 55 came down pit road to repair the damage. A couple of other cars as well. Joshua Colm Diaz in the 90. Battle of a Dakota Bro in the 00. This is for position, and as you can see, both cars have some damage. They were involved in an incident. Thomas Geyer in the 42, running in the 6th position, trying to chase down the 28. That would be a battle for 5th. The 28 car is driven by Jade Burr. Jade Burr is in the 5th position, coming off a 12th place finish earlier tonight at Auto Club Speedway. Some contact there on the back straightaway between a couple of cars. Nathan O'Hara went down onto the apron because of that. And I think that it was contact with Gary Engelhardt in the number 36. There's Gary, driving the 36 Can-Am Chevy. RJ Haywood making a move. Oh! And he got cut off and he made contact with the inside wall. Nathan O'Hara slams into him. And this is all on the back straightaway. Joshua Colm Diaz collides with him. And that's a tough break for RJ. He was doing so well. Kept the car clean from the get-go. Wild race here at Texas Motor Speedway. We anticipated that. These drivers are all hungry for a win. They all want to clinch their spot now to get into the playoffs. 12 drivers make the playoffs. We got a whole lot of talent here. Whoa, Noah Underwood in the 88 went through the grass on the front stretch. Holds on to it. Exits turn 2. There is the winner from Auto Club. 2 wins this season, Nick Don Francesco. Coming into this event with the most playoff points. Running in the 6th position, just made a pass on Thomas Geyer in the 42, who's just trying to hold on until the end of stage 1. Scoring 11 laps to go here in stage 1, and around goes Stephen Corley. Shadow had nowhere to go, and a big wreck on the front straightaway. Brad Dove in the 23, Nathan O'Hara in the 61, a couple of others all involved. And a couple of major incidents here in stage 1. cars coming to pit road to repair the damage. There's Dave Marks Jr. in the 1. Relatively clean looking race car. Joshua Colm-Diaz on pit road. All these drivers are going to have to visit pit road for at least a splash of fuel before the end of stage 1. So some of these drivers who suffered damage and came to pit road early to fix it, they're not necessarily out of this. Can't necessarily write them off yet, because if they took tires and they were able to get enough track position, they might be able to be in front of the race leader once they're done completing their pit stops, which will more than likely be a splash and go if they stay out for a long period of time. We don't think anybody's going to ultimately make it to the end of the stage. 51 of Robert Lohman Sr. was on pit road there. Jade Burr in the 28 Ford Mustang inside the top 5. In fact, he's right behind Noah Underwood, and Noah's right in front of him in the 3rd position, Jade Burr being scored in 4th. It's going to be a battle for position here. They're side by side. Give the 3rd position to Jade Burr. Jason Armstrong coming off a solid 3rd place finish at Auto Club Speedway, and there he comes down pit road. Keith Ayers in the 16 right in front of him. Stephen Corley in the 39 just in front of him. And we're anticipating just a splash and go. Not too many laps left here in stage 1. That's what it was for Armstrong. It's already down and away. Looks like Keith Ayers, Michael Birch in the 38, deciding to stay for tires. Stephen Corley, Jason Armstrong leave pit road with fuel only. Fuel to the finish of stage 1. Thomas Geyer on pit road. Dustin Franklin coming down for service. He's in his pit stop. See, we're thinking a splash only, and there it is. Down and away already. I think Thomas in the 42 took right sides and a splash. You see one car on pit road, not really looking like it's going to leave their pit stall anytime soon. We might have one car off the track. That'll leave 24 cars left on the racetrack. It'll be interesting to see how many cars are on the lead lap for the beginning of stage 2. Simply because a lot of these cars that did suffer damage pit a whole lot sooner, could have taken tires as well, and they could be very off sequence. We're really not too sure how this is all going to cycle through. And there was a problem with Brad Dove in the 23. He is out of fuel and he was trying to get down and out of the way. He didn't get out of the way enough. And Shadow in the 2 car just slammed into the back of that Chevy Camaro. Now Anthony Trippi in the 22 coming to pit road. Shadow in the 2 car really not happy with Brad. And there you see him. He's wondering what that was about. He's waiting for him at the entrance to pit road, and that's... Now Shadow going to pit road to repair the damage. Looks like Brad's going to stay on the racetrack, but it's the end of the stage. So pit road was closed, and we're going to have Shadow receiving a penalty in the end. Well, it was Nick Francesco winning stage 1, with Noah Underwood right behind him in second. Gary Engelhardt in the 36 in third, Jade Burr in fourth in the 28, Dave Marks Jr. the 1 rounding out the top 5. We're going to have 9 cars on the lead lap for the start of stage 2. They're all lined up double file. We have 24 cars left on the racetrack. We're back racing at Texas Motor Speedway. There they go through turn 1 and 2. A couple of cars got down onto the apron and they got loose from it. All different racing lines on this track, and this is good stuff. Look at them go. Up front, Brad Dove in the 23, the pole sitter. Going to the inside, he takes the lead from Nick Francesco, and he's bringing the 88 of Noah Underwood with him. Jade Burr thought about looking to the inside on Don Francesco. The door was shut by the 98. Now he's on the inside of Underwood. Contact was made between those two. And look at Thomas Geyer in the 42 up there. Thomas is the first car 1 lap down in the 10th position in that 42. Showing good speed here. They're all starting to get a little bit spread now. At first we saw them all under a blanket, but as you can see, it's a conveyor belt of cars all around this racetrack. A very clean start to stage 2, much more organized than stage 1. We're having a heck of a battle for the lead here. There's about 12 cars within a second and a half of each other. Brad Dove trying to hold on. Jade Burr just made a huge move on the inside of Don Francesco to take the 2nd position. Underwood gets into the outside wall exiting turn 2. Trey Hollywood in the 89 had to lift because he was in the outside line. Now he goes low. Gets around Underwood. Oh, and Gary Engelhardt in the 36 got loose and out of shape, and he went through the grass through the infield. He was able to get it woed up, and he didn't cause any problems, didn't come back on the racetrack. That's a veteran driver in Gary Engelhardt. cars beginning to break away from the rest of the field. It's Brad Dove, Nick Donfrancesco, Keith Ayers, and Jade Burr. Now Jade Burr had a bit of a rough corner there, and he's losing a bit of ground to these three. Keith Ayers looking to the inside. Keith looking for his first career NOSSCAR Motormaster Series win, as is Brad Dove. Ooh, a little bit of contact made between Dove and the 23. Donfrancesco in the 98. They get back single file. He's right behind him. Two Fords chasing a Chevy here in Texas. Three Fords chasing a Chevy, rather. Jade Burr in the 28, not too far behind him in the 4th spot. And the battle for 5th on back is heating up, and they're beginning to gain ground on the top three. Trey Hollywood in the 89, Noah Underwood in the 88. They're battling for 5th position. Jason Armstrong just behind them. Armstrong running in 6th, and it's Kenny Adair in the 36 car in the 7th spot. We're getting a report. Keith Ayers in the 16 is the first car 1 lap down. It's the 2nd car in line. There's been confusion with the scoreboard up until now. The 16 not in the 2nd position. That belongs to Nick Donfrancesco in the 98. This puts Jade Burr in the 28 in the 3rd position, with Noah Underwood in the 88 car in 4th. Trey Hollywood in 5th in the 89. Jason Armstrong in 6th, and Kenny Adair in 7th. And we got a 3-car battle for the lead. Donfrancesco has found an open lane. He's on the outside through turn 1 and 2. He's going up a little high. He's going to have to lift off the throttle a little bit, and that allows Brad Dove to get back in front of him. Donfrancesco wanted the bottom. Dove said no thank you. Shuts the door, trying to hold on to the lead. He leads this lap. Looks like he'll give him the top. If he has to give him a lane at all, he'll give him the top groove. A little bit of contact made there in turn 1. It really hurt the exit of Nick Donfrancesco. Back in front goes Brad Dove. Jade Burr was in 3rd place, and he went up into the outside wall. Donfrancesco had a shape as well. Underwood now up into the 2nd position, and he's within striking distance. He has 1 car in between himself and the race leader. He goes to the inside of Keith Ayers, and he's chasing after Brad Dove. He's running out of time here in stage 2. When they come around and hit the start-finish line this time by, it'll be 3 laps to go in stage 2. Underwood tried the outside that time by, and it didn't work. Keith Ayers in the 16 is racing not overly aggressive, but he's just making things a little bit difficult for Noah Underwood, and there's no rule against that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just making Noah's life a little bit harder at this point. Noah slides in front of him, going into turn 3. Gets the draft with the leader in front of him. Brad Dove, the pole sitter, having an excellent stage 2. We don't think that they're going to have to pit before the end of this stage. At least they hope not at this point. 2 laps to go. Pardon me. Oh, what a big power move to the inside. Going into turn 3. Contact was made. Underwood slipped up the track. Bumped into the side of the 23. We have a new race leader in Texas. 1 to go at stage 2. Now he better hope that Brad can't get back to the back bumper of that 88. It's got about a 5-6 car length gap. And Brad does not have a drafting partner. Well, he does now, but I don't think Don Francesco is going to try to draft. Don Francesco to the bottom, looking for second here at the end of stage 2. We saw Michael Birch in the 38 parked on the inside. Tough break for him, but at the end of stage 2, give it up for Noah Underwood. Nick Don Francesco in second. Brad Dove is going to hold on to third. The rest of the top 5 receiving points in this stage: Jason Armstrong in the 78 in 4th. Kenny Adair in the 36 in 5th. Kenny Adair off to a strong start in the 2019 NASCAR Truck Series season, winning the Tailgate 250, his first career Truck Series win. He went winless in the 2018 Truck Series season, but he went on to win the championship last season. And starts off 2019 with a win. Looking to perhaps get his second career Motormaster Series win today. He's looking strong. He's restarting in 6th. The green flag is in the air. We're back racing at Texas. Anthony Trippi in the 22 restarts out front. Funnel 2 and 3 wide around this racetrack, heading into turn 3 now. Oh, Brad Dove went a little bit high. He goes up and hits the wall. Kenny Adair followed him in there. Oh, and around went Michael Birch deep in the field in the 38 machine. I believe it was a single car incident. Oh, and problems heading into turn 1. Trey Hollywood in the 89. Keith Ayers. Robert Lohman Sr. Jerry Ashley in the 55. Meanwhile, back up front, Anthony Trippi is your race leader in the 22 car. Noah Underwood in second. Nick Don Francesco in third. Jason Armstrong in fourth. Brad Dove in 5th. That's Dakota Bro behind him in the 00 in 6th. And Kenny Adair in 7th. Oh, and big problems in 3 and 4 that time by Stephen Corley in the 39. Shadow got a piece of it. Brad Dove in the 23 got a big piece of it. Here's the second group trying to catch the leaders, led by Jake Burr. He's running in the 6th position. He's got Dave Marks Jr. in the 1, right behind him in 7th. And there you see Kenny Adair has fallen in line behind them in the 8th position. There's Shadow in the 2. Shadow won stage 1 and 2 at Auto Club, did not go on to win the race. He was hoping for good things here in Texas. It's been a bit of a rocky race for him. Meanwhile, back up front, your race leader is Noah Underwood in the number 88 car. Looking for his first career NOSSCAR Motormaster Series win. He has 7 NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series wins. He'd love to get his first Motormaster win today. He's going to have to hold off Nick Francesco if he can. He's already got 2 wins in the first 5 races of the season. Here we are in round 6 at Texas, 2019 season. And Don Francesco going for another win. Looks like the 2 Fords are trying to team up and work together. Anthony Trippi in the 22. Getting a push from Dakota Bro in the 00. They both go around Trey Hollywood, but it looks like Nick Francesco had a problem in turn 3 and 4. He lost some ground to the leaders. I'm really not too sure what happened there, but he's no longer in the draft with your front runners. He's in the second group back there with Jason Armstrong. Jason Armstrong in 4th. Don Francesco looking for that 4th position now, and he takes it in 3 and 4. We're going to keep our eye on the battle for the lead. We know that these drivers are going to have to make pit stops throughout the final stage. We have a new race leader. Dakota Bro in the 00 has just made a pass on Noah Underwood. Put him out front. He won at Las Vegas to clinch a playoff spot. Looking for his 2nd win of the season to tie his teammate Nick Francesco. That Ford team has been dominating so far here. Beginning of the Motormaster Series season 2019. And don't count out Anthony Trippi in the 22, lurking behind these guys. Pit stops have begun. Nathan O'Hara is on pit road. Look like Trey Hollywood in the 89. Shadow in the 2. There's BJ Thomas in the 99 car with some damage on that machine. Soldiering on. He's got Keith Ayers behind him. Just behind them in the 36. Gary Engelhardt. Finished in 3rd in stage 1. Oh, and problems for Jay Burr. I didn't see what happened, but he's slow on the... He was slow on the back straightaway through 3 and 4. Looks like he's picking up speed. Might have had a solo spin over there. R.J. Haywood making his debut in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series. Lets the leaders go. He's under the leaders right now. He's going to let Dakota Bro and Noah Underwood go by. And it looks like Anthony Trippi in the 22 has lost the draft with the front 2. There's Tyler Wagner in the 76. He gives way to the race leaders as well. Now he and RJ Haywood battling for position. First car 1 lap down. However, we're not seeing any more cautions. We are in the final stage. And when we have an entry list of over 22 cars, there are no cautions in the race. Problems for Nathan O'Hara. He's on pit road and they don't seem to be very active in the pits. Looks like they're done for the day. A couple of cars off the track. We have 22 cars left on the racetrack, racing for the win here in Texas. We're all chasing this man, Dakota Bro, 00 Ford Mustang, looking strong. We didn't talk about him too much in stage 1, but he came on strong once he was able to put some adjustments in that car. He won at Las Vegas, very similar racetrack to this one. He's looking to capitalize here today. Having a strong run, he's put himself in a position to win. These two drivers have both put some distance in between themselves and the third place driver, and that being Anthony Trippi in the 22. Keep in mind, these drivers are only a couple of laps away from making green flag pit stops, so that's really going to spice things up. To see who's pit crews faster and who's going to be able to get on and off pit road better. And 9 times out of 10, they don't come out nose to tail. They're going to be spread out, and they're not going to have a drafting partner for the first bit, and that allows some of the drivers running third on back to perhaps gain some ground on the front two. Not sure what happened to Dakota in the 00. I think is he out of fuel? He either got loose or he was going to try to pit, but he missed it, or it sputtered on him. Something along those lines happened, and now he's really trying to get to pit road. I think he made it. Oh my goodness, he didn't. Dakota Bro in the 00, that is a heartbreaker for that team and that driver. Tried desperately to get to the bottom, to get to the pits. BJ Thomas in the 99 was there. Now he's going to have to go around the track slow here, but he's going to lose valuable time to Noah Underwood, who's more than likely going to be the race leader after all this. He's on pit road right now. There he goes. He's exiting the pits. He's going to have Trey Hollywood right behind him. I believe he is 1 lap down. We spoke to Noah Underwood before this race, and he told us that he was confident that he'd be able to make the playoffs based on points, but he also told us that he really wants to get a few wins, establish himself as a contender, maybe tally up a good amount of playoff points, and have at her when it comes to chase time. We've got 32 laps to go here in the O'Hara 300 at Texas Motor Speedway. Now that the green flag pit stops have cycled through, your race leader once again is Noah Underwood. Second place is Anthony Trippi in the 22, and he's about a second and a half behind your race leader. Jason Armstrong running in third, Dave Marks Jr. in fourth, and Jay Burr rounding out the top five at this time. Jason Armstrong in third, about 6.8 seconds behind your race leader. Dave Marks Jr. about 7.5 seconds back. Jay Burr about 8.6 seconds behind your race leader. They have some ground to make up, but a couple of those drivers, in particular Jay Burr and Jason Armstrong, and a few of them, they might be able to get together and start drafting. Perhaps make a charge on these guys. We know they're all going to have to pit again. There is the man in second, Anthony Trippi, trying to run down your race leader, and if he can, it would be his first career NOSSCAR Motormaster Series win. The top two looking for their first win. Shadow on pit road. He's been pitting a whole lot sooner than the leaders. He's on a bit of a different strategy. And there you see Michael Birch in the 38 is done for the day. We have 4 cars off the track, 22 left on the racetrack, 26 cars, 26 drivers started the event, all with the hope of winning the O'Hara 300. We're getting down to the closing stages here. In Texas, the series is hosted on NASCAR Heat 3 on the PlayStation 4 console. For more information, head over to NOSSCAR.com/Motormaster Series. Check out all the all-time statistics, rules and regulations, the point standings, the race results from this season, and for details on how to sign up and become a driver. Taking a short break from commentary, everybody. 29 laps to go in Texas, final stage. You're watching round 6 in the 2019 NOSSCAR Motormaster Series season from Texas Motor Speedway, live on NASCAR Heat 3. We'll be right back. back with full commentary, and don't count out Nick Francesco. I know that he's got a bit of a gap to make up, but he's flown through the field ever since what happened to him before the first round of green flag pit stops in the final stage. Now he's back up into the 5th position, trying to get around Dave Marks Jr. in the 1. This is a battle for the 4th position right here. And they might even be trying to draft with each other. That might be the smartest thing for them to do. Under 20 laps to go at Texas Motor Speedway. They've got about a 4-second gap in between themselves and Jason Armstrong. And if Armstrong can hold on to a 3rd place finish, it's back-to-back 3rd place finishes tonight for the driver of the 78. And again, a very unique point system here for the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series, as well as the Platinum Cup and the Truck Series and the Dirt Series as well. The winner of the race will receive 3 playoff points rather than the 5 playoff points that you would normally see in NASCAR. And the drivers finishing in 2nd and 3rd both receive 1 playoff point each. So it's as if we just take the 5 playoff points and divide it to the top 3 rather than just the winner. And we have a driver now in the 4th position, new 4th place runner. Don Francesco makes the pass on Dave Marks Jr. And it might have been for this reason, just to play it safe, make sure he was the front car in line. He comes to pit road, so does Keith Ayers. Jason Armstrong in the 78 on pit road just in front of him as well. Looks like Thomas Geyer is out of the race. Joshua Colm-Diaz is out of the race. Noah Underwood is on pit road. So we have 21 cars now left on the racetrack. Jason Armstrong leaves pit road. Francesco, Keith Ayers leave pit road. There's Trey Hollywood, the 89, battling with Gary Engelhardt. It's battle for position just outside the top 10. Engelhardt clears him. The outside line looked really strong for him there. There's Anthony Trippi in the 22. He was running in the 2nd position before the cycle of pit stops began, and we can only assume that that's where he's going to be running when it all cycles through. And if so, he's gained a whole lot of ground on Noah Underwood, and that would be the battle for the race lead once it's all cycled through. It's Kenny Adair in the 36 car staying out a couple of extra laps to lead some laps. And Dave Marks Jr. in the 1 as well. Both of those drivers lead a lap, and now they come to pit road. Dakota Bro leaving pit road. He stayed out a bunch of extra laps to lead some laps along with Kenny Adair and Dave Marks Jr. Now the lead goes back to Noah Underwood in the number 88 Chevy Camaro. He's led the most laps here at Texas Motor Speedway today. There he is. He's got a drafting partner with Brad Dove, and Anthony Trippi, the driver in second, does not have a drafting partner. But the gap is only 1.5 seconds in between those two. Jason Armstrong is about 5.5 seconds behind your race leader in the third position. Nick Don Francesco is still in fourth after the cycle of pit stops, and Jade Burr runs in the fifth position. And we know that the 88 car can make it to the end on fuel. I think that everyone has now made their final pit stop of the race. You got what you got until the end. And we just have to see if Anthony Trippi is able to run down your race leader. All he's got to do is get a little bit of a sniff of the draft with these cars. And if he does, he's going to be able to reel in your race leader. He's getting a good run. He had a solid 3 and 4 that time by. Still 1.5 seconds behind your leader. I'd like to also point out Jason Armstrong in third, gaining ground on both of these drivers, but he's not gaining ground fast enough to be a factor before the end of this one. Anthony Trippi in the 22, he's cleared one of the lapped cars. He's got only one more in between himself and the leader. But once again, Brad Dove in the 23, giving his buddy here, it seems, Noah Underwood a push, and they're getting away. Keeping a healthy gap in between themselves and the 22. 6 laps to go. Dakota had a good run going earlier in the race. It was actually looking like he was going to pick up the win today. He's outside the top 5 right now. It's been all about Noah Underwood. He's led the most laps in this race. He's had to battle with drivers like Nick Don Francesco, Jade Burr, Dakota Bro, and more. Oh, and there's a big wreck on the back straightaway. Noah's involved. BJ Thomas was involved. Anthony Trippi in the 22 has taken the lead, and that is a heartbreaking situation for Noah Underwood. There was a crash in front of him involving lap traffic, and he had nowhere to go. And he's got severe front-end damage to that race car. He's now scored in the 6th position heading into turn 1. I can't believe I had to just say all that to everybody. 3 laps to go, coming around to 2 to go. Anthony Trippi takes the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. I guess he would rather be lucky than good any day, but on this day he was both. He exits turn 2, goes down the back straightaway. Certainly not the way you want to win your first NOSSCAR Motormaster Series race. But they all count, and they're all just as difficult as the next. Congratulations, Anthony Trippi is a winner. First win of his career, first win of the season, and he clinches himself a spot in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series playoffs. And before we close the broadcast, we'll get an interview with him, see what his thoughts on his race are. And hey, you just came up, your race winner just came over the radio and said that was Noah's race to win. So he knows, and he's paying respects to it. And as a driver, I know exactly how Noah Underwood feels right now. That has happened to me countless times, and there is no worse feeling as a NOSSCAR driver. It's always nice to see who got the fastest lap time in the race, and it was your pole sitter, or excuse me, no it wasn't, it was actually Dakota Bro in the 00 getting the fastest lap time in the race. Gonna see if we can get an interview with your race winner, Anthony.
Hello?
Hey, do you have it set up so everyone can hear you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Joining us now in the NOSSCAR commentary booth, driver of the number 22 Ford Mustang of the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series, capturing his first ever win tonight, Anthony Trippi. Thanks for joining
What's
us.
up? Thank you.
I know it's not
Oh,
exactly the way that you want to win the race. As you saw, Noah got taken out there in a wreck involving a couple of lap cars on the back straightaway, and he just had nowhere to go. And as a driver myself, I know that's never a good feeling. But a win is a win. They're all hard to get. And nevertheless, congratulations. Tell us about your race and how you were able to get it to victory lane.
well, we got, in a wreck in stage one, that's never a good way to start off. Wrecked twice on that stage and came in, fixed it up, sat in the back stage two and just said, hey, let's stay out of trouble and hope nothing bad happens. Then we came down to stage three and the crew chief was like, hey, let's take no tires and just come out in the lead. I was like, well, whatever you say, bud. So, we just chilled up there, wanted some pit strategy. And then we came up there and, we put another pit strategy and we caught up to Noah 1.6 back. He had some help from lap traffic with like draft and everything. And then, he just got caught up in that. Like, he's one hell of a guy. He's one hell of a racer. Love racing with him. I feel bad that that happened to him, but hey, I'll take the win.
This win actually locks you and clinches you into a spot in the playoffs. How does it feel to know that you're going to be battling for the 2019 Motormaster Series Championship?
Oh, it feels amazing. You can ask everybody that I was talking to that whole race and people who were on the radio with me. The excitement when that happened, the upsetness that it happened to him and stuff, that was those luck that took him out of it, but just to win a race, it's amazing. Knowing that my whole team is now in the playoffs with this signing of, Jade Bull and everything to the 28. Now that the whole team's in, hey, my goal is to get both cars to the Final Four and, go win a championship.
Well, you got one check mark beside your name. We'll see if Jade Berg can get a check mark beside his. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That was Anthony Trippi, driver of the 22 Ford Mustang. When the smoke cleared, it was his Ford Mustang out front for the win. Not like I said, not the way that he wants to win this one, but they're all hard to come by. It's not easy to win a NOSSCAR race, so I can only imagine how happy he is. Gonna see if we can get an interview with the driver who finished in the runner-up spot. That would be Jason Armstrong in the number 78. Had a terrific run at Auto Club and then another terrific run here at Texas. And just awaiting Jason Armstrong. Hmm. See if we can get a word then with Noah Underwood, driver of the 88 car. He came this close to winning the O'Hara 300 at Texas. We'll see. Here he is joining us now in the NASCAR commentary booth. Driver of the 88 Chevy Camaro, Noah Underwood. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry that you're not joining us in the winner's circle. We saw what happened. You were leading the race, and there was a wreck with a couple of cars that were a lap down or more in front of you, and you kind of got involved and tangled up there. Tell us what happened.
Um, I just saw two idiots keep on trying to wreck each other in turn two, and they finally got what they wanted to do, wreck each other, and then they decided to come up whenever they saw me. I'm pretty sure come up on the racetrack, try to pass them, and I just got caused in it. So
You were having such a strong run. You got a stage win, which is a valuable playoff point, and you've got very good points to start the season off. Do you think that you're going to get into the playoffs based on points if you don't win?
I'm pretty sure I'm definitely gonna win a race. I mean, I know that I got a card to, get up there. It just all depends on lap traffic or who all could actually race clean and, don't got problems.
What's the competition like out there? We saw about 15 cars, 16 cars lined up battling at the beginning of stage 2 at Texas. It was a very clean stage 2 for the most part.
hmm Uh, Whenever you start at the restarts, basically everybody's gonna try their best to get in front of you, even if they're not faster than you, because they know that if they get the draft, they're like 75% sure they could be faster than you as long as they stay in the draft. And I'm pretty sure that's what everybody was doing, to stay up all bundled up fighting each other.
I see. So you think it's really all about the draft for the most part, eh? The slower cars trying to cling on.
Yeah, except for road courses. The slow cars can't do nothing on road courses, which is what I really like about road courses.
Well, good job tonight. I'm sorry that you didn't finish where you deserved to finish, but good job and good luck to you tomorrow night in the NASCAR Truck Series race.
Next time, Mac.
That was Noah Underwood, driver of the '88 Chevy Camaro. He's pulling double duty this week. He's got the NOSSCAR Truck Series races tomorrow night, short track action tomorrow night, Tuesday night truck action. You have Bristol at 8 p.m. and you have Martinsville at 9:45 p.m. both Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss either of those. That is tomorrow night here on the NOSSCAR YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button to catch all the action from both of those races tomorrow night and all the action from all 15 of our online racing leagues across our 6 different video games of our choice and 3 consoles. Congratulations to Anthony Trippi and the entire number 22 team for winning the O'Hara 300 here at Texas. And from all of us here at NOSCAR, we're saying stay fast, and we'll see you tomorrow night.